one important outcome for me, of having the FCC adopting a national broadband plan is, for years, I heard people complain the FCC is lagging behind other countries because we don't have a broadband plan. So now we have a plan, so I don't have to listen to that argument again, which is really nice, I think. But it actually, I think the plan does do some important things in terms of broadband policy and doesn't do some other things. But what I wanted to do was to take some aspects of the research that I've been doing over the last few years to think about how the plan can help and what the plan doesn't do necessarily as well. And so the three things that I wanted to talk about was consumer evaluation of broadband, universal service, and spectrum policy. And I should probably start with my slides. So they did the National Broadband Plan, which Julia's talked about. You can find on the web at broadband.gov. So the three things, for me, the easiest part to talk about is this spectrum policy that Julia's talked about, getting 500 megahertz of spectrum. And pretty safe to say that sitting here today, almost everybody in this room has a cell phone, and probably the vast majority 15 years ago did not have a cell phone. For sure, you did not have one in your pocket 15 years ago. You would not have died 15 years ago if you had lost your cell phone or left it on the table like Ward did over here. But things have changed a lot. I'm going to take a minute to at least give you some amusing part of my talk. See if I can play this video for a minute to see where we've come from.
Back then, yeah. Those were simpler times, I think. I just feel like going back to that, by the way. But in a way, good, because when I read things like the foundations of capitalism are shattering, I'm like, maybe we need that. Maybe back then, yeah. Those were simpler times, I think. I just feel like we may be going back to that, by the way. But in a way, good, because when I read things like the foundations of capitalism are shattering, I'm like, maybe we need that. Maybe we need some time where we're walking around with a donkey with pots clanging on the sides.
You think that would just bring us back to reality?
Yeah, because everything is amazing right now, and nobody's happy. Like, in my lifetime, the changes in the world have been incredible. When I was a kid, we had a rotary phone. We had a phone that you had to stand next to, and you had to dial it.
Yes.
You don't realize how primitive, you're making sparks in a phone, and you actually would hate people with zeros in their numbers, because it was more... It's like, oh, this guy's got 2 zeros. Screw that guy. Why do I want to... Yeah. And then if they called and you weren't home, the phone would just ring lonely by itself. And then if you wanted money, you had to go in the bank when it was open for like 3 hours. You had to stand in line, write yourself a check like an idiot. And then when you ran out of money, you'd just go, well, I can't do any more things now. I can't do any more things.
That's it, yeah.
That was it. And even if you had a credit card, the guy would go, ugh, and he'd bring out this whole shunk, and he'd write,
yeah.
Oh, you have to call the president to see if you have any money. And
it's all true, kids. You had to call the president, yeah. It was ridiculous.
Yes.
Do you feel that we now, in the 21st century, we take technology for granted?
Well, yeah, because now we live in an amazing, amazing world, and it's wasted on the crappiest generation of just spoiled idiots that don't care, because this is what people are like now. They got their phone, they're like, ugh. It won't. Give it a second. It's going to space.
So I think
those were simpler times, I think. I just feel like we may be going back to that, by the way. But
stop that there. And I apologize to the students who maybe think they're part of that generation. But it was